One of the most important features of the Telligent Community integration module for Sitecore is the community component. The purpose of the community component is to allow content authors to be able to retrieve and filter content from the Telligent Community from the page editor in Sitecore. So I want to show what that control looks like. So if I navigate over to the community section, I have this control in here that's retrieving blog content. If I go into design mode, the control is in the center column placeholder. If I look at the properties of the control, I can see that it guides the content author through the process of specifying content from the Telligent Community. So I want blog content, I want to get posts from the blog, which groups, which blogs do I want to use. And then this last setting is where I'm specifying the presentation logic that's going to apply to the content that I've retrieved from Telligent Community. And this is what I want to talk about in this video. The Telligent Community integration module comes with several predefined display templates that control the presentation logic. In here we can see for blog content there is something called common data, and there's also blog post default. What I want to do is show you where these are configured and what the interface looks like for building your own display templates. I'm going to close out of here. And this is done in the Sitecore content editor. The integration is added into the Sitecore client through a module. So I go into my module configuration, down to TC, in display templates. For each application that I'm able to retrieve content for, I've got different display templates. I'm interested in blog content, specifically blog posts, and I have the templates that are used to format the individual blog post items. And what I'm currently using is the blog post default display template. The Sitecore interface allows me to control the presentation logic through a rich text editor. So in here I can see what is currently being used. There are these tokens that are in here that have this $ notation, which are accessible through this drop-down list. And those tokens correspond with the values or the content that's retrieved from the Telligent Community for each blog item. So I can see the different values that are available. I am able to use this interface to modify existing display templates, and I can also use this interface to create new display templates, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to create a new display template. It's going to be blog item simplified. I'm going to go into the rich text editor, and in here I can just enter in my values. So I'm going to say blog subject, it's going to be that, and by, I'm going to drop in the author's name. Now for the blog subject, I want this to be a hyperlink. So the values that I'm going to use are subject, that's going to be the link text, and I want to get the URL to the item back in the Telligent Community. Now I'm going to put these into a hyperlink. I'm going to go into HTML mode. href, I've got $URL, and title is going to be link text. And just put in a line between them. Go back into design mode, have an idea of what this looks like, save my changes. Now when I go into the page editor, go back to my community page into design mode. Go into the properties for my control. Again, I'm not changing any of the content that's being retrieved. I'm just going to change what presentation logic is applied to that content. So now when I go to my item template dropdown, I have blog item simplified. I can select that, save my changes. Now I can see that that new display template is being used inside of the Sitecore environment. Publish my changes quickly. Go over to my published site for community, and now I can see my new presentation logic is being displayed. So the community control for the Telligent Community Integration module for Sitecore is important and useful because it allows content authors to be able to control not only what content is being retrieved from Telligent Community, but also how should that content be displayed. It's not necessarily the case that content authors are going to be defining their own display templates. That's something that Sitecore developer or a designer would typically do. But the important part is that the content authors are able to select which presentation logic should be applied to the content that's being retrieved from Telligent Community. And that's going to conclude my demonstration of creating custom display templates for the community component. For more information, you can visit Sitecore's shared source library.